Hello, welcome back to Auto Pop Culture. Today, I thought I'd do a different type of video since I still haven't really found any albums that really pulled me to want to review at this moment. So I thought I'd do a different one where I'd talk about the future albums that I'm really excited about. This could go from albums that are coming out like literally next week, or albums coming out later on this year, or even albums that I don't even know when they're coming out, but they're coming out. So I'm going to get my top 5 albums I'm really excited about, and then give you some honorable mentions at the end about the ones that I don't even know when they're coming out, or I do know, but I don't really know too much information yet. So starting off with the first album is Charli XCX and her 5th album called Crash. So this one's supposed to come out in the 18th of March. I am really, really excited about this because this album has pretty much had just banger after banger after banger, just songs after songs. Like starting off with the first song, which was good ones, which I wasn't really sure about when I first heard it. I didn't like the go, like I wasn't really cool with that. Like I was like, oh, that sounds kind of lazy. But as the song went on and as I gave it more of a listen, the more I seemed like I really, really like it. And then going into, she did New Shapes with Christine and the Queens, and with Caroline and Paul, I never pronounced her name before, Polachik. Them being on that song blew my mind. Very 80s sound, and then we go into Beg For You, which is giving you more of a 90s, kind of early 2000s sound, with a 2-step with it, with Rina Sawayama. Oh my god, such a good song. And then, she didn't even stop there. It's the next single that came out very, very recently was Baby. And it sounds it's so sexy, it's so amazing. It's just, I don't know why, I've been listening to it non-stop. Beg For You was the first one I listened to non-stop, but now it's Baby, and it's pretty much back and forth. This is the last album for her when it comes to working, her last album under Atlantic Records. So where she goes from this is God even knows. Like, I'm so excited. This actually is, some of these songs, she mentioned that some of these songs were the songs that her record company wanted her to do, like, all along, but she never really came into this space of doing a lot of popular songs. She's not really big in that. She loves doing mixtapes and doing more kind of like this hyper pop that she basically created. And it just, from that space, I felt like this album does feel very like, feels very commercial. And she nodded to it. Like, Baby is directly very commercial. She's like this sexy, like, ooh, I'm sexy, and I'm doing this, da-da-da-da. Just like this whole kind of like the idea of what the typical pop star female would be doing. But I'm really excited about it. The next album is Rosalia and her 3rd album called Motor Mommy. This one's coming out on the same day, pretty much March 18th. And I'm very excited about it. I wasn't really sure which single was coming out at first, but now I realized after doing the research. But La Fama featuring The Weeknd, I love it. I like The Weeknd in it, but I honestly could take it or leave it with him. I love the sound of the song. She sounds great with it. I love the slow kind of sound that it sounds like. It's just amazing. Get into it. Chicken Teriyaki is another one I really like. It's very, very, when it comes to her, I feel like sometimes I feel like some of her songs for me are a hit and miss, but when they do hit, they hit hard. I'm so excited for this album. It's her 3rd album, and I listened to her 2nd album, literally pronounced this earlier, but I can't even do it today. El Mal Querer. This one came out in 2018. I really, really loved it. I thought it was so amazing, and that got me into her. So I'm really excited about this one. It's supposed to be very experimental. It's supposed to be very personal and sexy at the same time. So I'm really excited to see what's going to happen. The next album I'm really excited about is Confidence Man and their 2nd album called Tilt. This one's coming out on the 1st of April. They are pretty much an Australian electro-pop band from Brisbane, and they are so good. I like their beginning. how they did the song Boyfriend Repeat that came out in 2016. The album was okay for me. Like, I liked it decently, but I felt like it felt very in its time. But this new album that's coming out has been hitting a lot of good highs. Holiday, so addicting. Feel Like a Different Thing, really great song. Woman recently, so good. It's a good start to this second album that's coming out very, very soon. Can't wait. The next song, or the next album I'm really excited about is from Orville Peck, and his second album called Bronco. This one's coming out on the 8th of April. He is a Canadian country singer. He does a great job. He's also somebody you still haven't seen his face because he wears a mask, and very beautiful with a frail on the bottom and a cowboy hat. And he's literally in my sexual, he's literally my Phantom of the Opera fantasy right now. Like, his voice and everything. Like, I have a hardcore crush on him. Anyway, he came out with Pony and blew everybody away, pulling that Western country and that kind of like prairie country, kind of like out in the, like, I keep saying outback, but it's not, let's see, American version of that. Out in the country, out in the wilderness. Pretty much it's just out, gives you that kind of like Wild West country type of sound, and I love it. I love his vocals. He has great songs, and now he's coming out with a new album called Bronco, of course. This one's going to be released in 3 chapters, so pretty much it's going to be 3 EPs into this album. There's already been the first EP that came out, Chapter 1, came out on the 11th of April, and I pretty much love every song. I do. I love every song, so I cannot wait to see what he's going to do with the second album. There was an EP that came out called Show Pony that's supposed to be a bridge between the first and second album. I didn't really care for it, but the fact that this Chapter 1 is coming out and I really like it so far, I'm even more excited to see what's going to happen. I love the album cover too, with him just standing there with some gold like vest and some gold pants, and just having this like horse behind him like bucking. It's a look. It's a complete look, and I almost want to buy a vinyl of it just so I can have the actual cover and just post it on my wall. It is that cool. Going into the next and last album I have for this is Spacey Jane and their second album called Here Comes Everybody. This one's coming out on the 10th of June. I love this band. They only have one album under their belt, and they are a massive big deal. They have a huge fan base now, and they are a indie rock band from Australia. They have a great just listen to their first album. Just go into their first album, which is Sunlight. Listen to it. It's great. Definitely get into for my favorite songs, which is Cold Head, or Head Cold, and Booster Seat. Booster Seat. So good. It's such a good song. They're amazing. I am a big fan of a lot of Australian indie rock, so I listen to that a lot. So they are definitely up that alley. They have 3 singles out so far for this album, and Sitting Up is one of my favorites so far. I'm very excited for this. This album is actually influenced by the lack of touring they had not been doing since the pandemic. So it's just, I think they're going to talk a lot about the pandemic, maybe about being alone, being in their space, writing these songs without any kind of connection with other people. It's going to be a good thing. I'm excited. Okay, so now we're going to go into some of the TBA albums that don't really know when they're coming out, but they're coming. So first of all, Anita coming out with her Girl from Rio, her 5th album. I cannot wait. I cannot wait for it. I'm not really sure exactly where the singles start and where they end, because she has Me Gusta with Cardi B, she has Loco, she has Girl from Rio, Envolver, and the recent one, which is an English single, Boys Don't Cry. I really like all of them. I like all of them. They're really good. I love Boys Don't Cry because I feel like it's the first time I actually hear her do English song, and really full on English. It's a really good song. I got into her back when she released her album Bang, and the single Bang in 2015. So I've been keeping track of her, but it's always been a kind of hit and miss with her. But I'm really excited to see what she does, because she's been, and also, side note, she's been also featured in a lot of other things instead of her own kind of thing as much. So I'm really excited to see what this album takes her. Next person is Cardi B, and this will be her second album. The longest time we've been waiting for this album. The last album that came out was, I want to say, in 2018, I want to say. I didn't write it down, but it was Invasion of Privacy, and I really, really liked it. I think it was a great nod to who she actually is. I know a lot of people kind of listen to her more poppy direction, or whatever, the ones that make a huge splash as a, like, TikTok direction, or just, like, WAP. They love WAP. And they love, I Like It Like That, or I Like That, and, or Like That? Yeah, Like That. And what was the other one? Another, Money. Everybody loves those, but they don't listen to, what's that song? This for my nasty hoes, oh, all around the world. Fuck, what's that song called? Anyway, that song. They don't listen to the songs where she's like, I'll cut your dick off if I find you cheating on me, and who's that bitch in the backseat? Like, she goes hard. Press is another one, but people don't get that she has hard hitting songs that are just, like, pretty violent, and I love it. I personally love all of it. So I'm excited to see where she's going to take this, with the idea of having that popularity where they love this, but they don't really acknowledge this. So I'm very excited what she does with those, and does she continue with keeping that combined together, or is she going to lean more poppy and more in that space where people can kind of take her in and better? I hope she doesn't. I hope she keeps it with the whole, like, I'll cut your dick off if I even look at another woman kind of thing. I hope she keeps it, because I think it's so good. I think we need to like her in the full of who she is, not just parts of her. The next one that I'm really excited, and final one, is Sophie Tucker and their album that's called Wet Tennis. This is actually, I do know when this is coming out. It's coming out on the 29th of April. So they're a New York City duo. They do English songs, they do Portuguese songs, they're very genre bending, and I love that about them. I got into them back when they did Fuck They. Really liked it, and I felt like I kind of kept a good portion of, I listened to a lot of things, even Treehouse, the first album. I really liked it. I liked the idea of what they're doing. The only downside that maybe pushed me away from them was the overexpose, or the songs that are all over, like, in Target commercials and all these other things, like, overexposed it so much. So Batshit was always in something, and some commercial, and Purple Hat was in every commercial. It was exhausting. And advertisement, it was too much, very overexposed, which sucks. I do like these songs. So I'm really excited for that. I love Batshit. I love Fuck They. I love Purple Hat. I love Swing. That's a good song. So I'm really excited what they're going to do. They have Forgive Me that came out recently, and Original Sin, which I'm about. But Forgive Me I definitely like more, especially when they have Mamute Orhan. I love that, the fact that he's part of that. So that gave me more of an idea. It's like, okay, maybe it's going to be more than it is showing me that it's more than just these kind of hits to make popular pieces. Like, because I know that Purple Hat and Batshit sound very, very similar. It made me feel like, to the point that they're like, okay, we need another Batshit. What's exactly the same sound, but giving you different sound? And I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. As much as I did like Purple Hat, I did not like that they sound so similar. So I like the fact that these two singles do not sound as similar. So I'm excited for that. That's pretty much it for what I got. Leave a comment below. Tell me what you're excited for, what albums you're excited. If I left some out, or if you just have one that you're excited about, please let me know. And I might even get it to them and just check them out by the time it comes out. You never know. So thank you so much for watching me and watching this video. If you liked it, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell too, so you get more of it. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.